Hi, I'm Lucia. I'm here with our managing partner and founder, Vittorio. Vittorio, ¿cómo estás?
Benissimo, Lucia. Happy to have this new series of interviews with you.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. So, I've been here about 2 years, and we've heard a lot about this bathtub analogy. This has happened in client engagements, speaking engagements, and we use it daily in our projects as well. So what does this consist of, and can you tell me a little about it?
Oh yes, definitely. Since the beginning and still to date, we use the analogy of the bathtub to the point that we actually have a poster, which actually I happen to have here coincidentally. And I find it very easy for clients to really understand because they can relate back to when you're trying to when you're filling up your bathtub, what do? You don't magically just increase the level of water. You need to put water in and you need to make sure you close the drain. Mm-hmm. And similarly, when you're trying to win new consumers, when you're trying to grow your consumer base, you don't just magically do that. You do that by recruiting new consumers, making sure that they don't leave your brand. And the core principle in that analogy is that marketing programs impact the pipes, the flows. They will not magically just increase the number of consumers. Your marketing programs will have the impact of either recruiting more consumers or retaining your existing consumers or many other things like increase their frequency of consumption, bring them to daily habits, depending on brand and industry. But they will just change consumers' behavior as opposed to just increase the level of the number of consumers you have.
That makes a ton of sense. Thank you so much for having that handy.
Yeah, I just happened to be here. Should I put it back, you think?
Maybe for now.
All right, okay, then I guess I should do that.
We just spoke about how there are several different ways to grow a brand. It can be recruitment, retention, frequency. But there's also some research, Ehrenberg-Bass principles, that point to recruitment as being the only way to sustainably grow a brand. So how would you respond to that?
Well, first of all, Ehrenberg-Bass doesn't acknowledge in some of their papers that recruitment only is a slogan. And if you read their papers, they talk about reach. And I don't disagree with the importance of reaching consumers, but is that enough to brief marketers and to put together their strategies? There are different ways you can reach consumers, and you need to understand what's the intention with your brand. Think about large brands that have nearly saturated the market. How do they find their next piece of growth? Is it through recruiting consumers where they already have reached a 95% penetration? They need to find new ways to grow, which is be relevant in more occasions, make sure that they're able to transition their consumers into other sub-variants. So from a consumer standpoint, consumer growth levers is, in my opinion, the only way to think about growing a brand, and in our opinion, is not in contradiction with what Ehrenberg-Bass says.
This all sounds great from, a theoretical standpoint, but could you give us a more practical example of how the consumer levers philosophy works rather than just being this kind of framework that we talk about?
For sure, we have given several practical examples and built case studies. In fact, I'll talk about one that we presented publicly at SOMAR in Berlin a few years ago, where in the contact lens industry, there are different ways to grow your brand, from building awareness that contact lens is an option, to converting glass users into wearing contact lenses, to winning from competition or adding beauty contact lenses. But one growth lever that had been missed was the possibility to re-recruit people that had used contact lenses in the past and had lapsed out and went back to glasses for whatever reasons. Our client believed that was a bigger opportunity that had been missed and put together a marketing campaign targeted to those groups of lapsed users, and that really brought the growth that they were looking for.
Putting all these pieces together for the consumer lever framework, how does this actually work?
I'll tell you there are 5 steps in this process. The first one is think about how your industry works. What are the different ways to grow your brand? Is it about moving consumers from not using the category to using the category with your brand? There are several ways depending on the industry. The second step is to map those consumers on those pipes in a piece of paper so that everyone gets on the same page on how to think about their industry. Third step, populate that with how many consumers sits in each one of those groups. And ideally, how many have been switching from one group to the other in the last year. But step 4, build a dynamic model that takes that reality and allows you to create scenarios and project them into the future to make better decisions today on where you want to play. Step 5, meet as a team workshop that model and use it to enable good conversations and get on the same page of what you want to do next to grow your brand.
Vittorio, it has been so much fun to challenge you today.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been fun. Grazie, Lucia.
Looking forward to our next set of challenges. Adios.
Arrivederci.